Hi, hey, it's FineGirl Dime, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, okay? And like this video right now so you don't forget to do it later, all right? So, and if you're already subscribed, that means you're already a fine girl. So that means welcome back, fine girls. Have you ever been dragged into somebody else's mess? This is what happened to me in this story time. I did not appreciate this because this literally had nothing to do with me, but I ended up getting dragged in this. Okay, tell me in the comments if you have ever been dragged into somebody else's drama that had nothing to do with you, because this is going to be my story about how that happened to me. So when I was in college, I worked at a local coffee shop that was on school campus, and I had actually came from another place, but that's a story time for another day. And I had 3 employees that would be important for this story time. So let me get some names together. So Roma will be the team leader. She was super hood. She was sweet. She's caring. She seemed to be in a good bit of drama, but you can see she was a really kind person. She wasn't a student, but she was like one of the locals that lived near the college. She has a girlfriend that was named, like the girlfriend's nickname was like a deck of cards, or a card that's in a deck of cards. So we're gonna call her King, and like King Princess. Mel, she is like very chill. Me and her, we would go out together, we would work on campus together, sometimes we would study together, but basically if we were studying together, we would eventually end up hanging out and doing something, spending money together. Mel, she'll be in other story times, but yeah, so she was like, something like really neat about Mel is that she had, you know where people have like tramp stamps and stuff, she had dimples in her back, so she got piercings in those dimples on her back. Like, I always thought that was super cool. I was like, oh my gosh, like, honestly, at that point in my life, if I had back dimples, I probably would have got piercings there too. But it was some things about those piercings that kind of scared me, because sometimes when hers was like growing, it would have like pus in it and stuff, and I'd just be like, do I want to get that? Probably not. And it was illegal, and it's illegal in certain states to get those kind of piercings. So I'm just like, she told me how she got it and where she got it. I think she was like, I'm not gonna put her personal information out there, but yeah, I always thought that was so cool. And then we are gonna call one person Gold Tooth. Y'all will hear more about her, okay? Because Gold Tooth, she is very like vindictive, messy. And of course she has gold tooth. And then we have Tiana, okay? Tiana, she's gonna have like her own little story time within the story time, because it's important to see her level of wretchedity, okay? So Tiana, she had got promoted from being one of the regular crew members to being now either a team lead or a supervisor, because the elderly woman that was the team leader supervisor, she had to go for whatever reason. Now Tiana, she was a regular Eddie Haskell from Leave It to Beaver. I'm not sure how old the people in the demographics are, but Leave It to Beaver, Eddie Haskell from Leave It to Beaver, he would act like all nice and sweet when he's around the adults and stuff, and then behind closed doors he was a little Tasmanian devil. And that's exactly how Tiana was. The manager at the time would never see how lazy and evil she really was, because they never really spent that much time together because of their schedules and how they aligned, her and the older woman. One thing I want to add, I'm not talking about everybody from Atlanta, okay? But Tiana was an Atlanta ratchet, and I'm gonna explain why. One day I was at work, and it was a Mrs., let me think of a letter, a Mrs. Epsilon pageant going on, okay? This day Tiana was on her phone super heavy, like even more than normal, and the way she was texting was just like like she was very upset. Tiana was mad because this girl, we'll call her Tink, okay, like Tinkerbell, because she was like a very petite girl. She was talking to her boyfriend, so they talking to the same guy. Well, Tiana, she did have a boyfriend. I always thought her boyfriend was imaginary. I thought it was a catfish man. Like, I didn't think it was somebody pretending to be a catfish and talking to her. I thought that her boyfriend was imaginary, and she was just showing me pictures saying, yeah, this my boyfriend, because I always thought it was kind of weird for her to like do that. Now her and Tink are going back and forth over this, not the person I think is an imaginary person. They're going back and forth over this guy that's actually on campus. And this was before there were DMs on Instagram and stuff, so they like underneath a picture like back and forth and back and forth and back and forth about this man. So Tiana, she decides that she's gonna meet up with little Tink Tink after the Miss Epsilon pageant is over with, right outside the student union. And she walks out really angry, and she's just like, oh, I gotta go beat this B's A. I'm gonna catch her outside when she leaving the Miss Epsilon pageant so I can get paid to whip somebody butt. And I was just like, it's kind of funny when you think about it. Also ratchet, like we talked about. And I'm just like, oh, poor little Ting Ting. Well, interesting timing, because it's now my lunch break, and you know exactly what I'm about to do. I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna look at this go down. Like, not as far as like beating up or anything, but I'm just like kind of curious, right? So it's my lunch break, and I walked the opposite way to go to the union, because me and Tiana, we are not friends. We're not cordial, or we're like, I don't know, I feel like cordial, you know, you say hey to the person and stuff like that. I'm just indifferent to her, so I just like, you know, if I have to talk to you about something, it's about work. It's not, I don't care what you're doing in your personal life. And the only reason I knew so much about her personal life is, well, you'll find out, because I'll tell you now, because Tiana and Roma were friends, so that's how I knew. So it's my lunch break. I'm getting ready to walk to the union, but I'm walking from the opposite side because I'm kind of curious, because I'm just like, at this point, I am thinking that the guy on campus is Tiana's imaginary boyfriend. So I was just like, I gotta see. I thought this person was a catfish, like, so that's why I'm there, and I'm nosy. So that happened. When I'm getting ready to leave, Mel, she's like, tell me what happens. So come to find out, the guy that Tiana was actually like all mad over, it wasn't even her person, you know, it wasn't even her imaginary boyfriend. It was just some guy that went to school on campus with us, and he was also with the pageants with his friends, like little Tink Tink. They're supposed to have sneaky link, but Tink posts like one of those delete later kind of pictures, and because she, like, I guess she thought it was like kind of cute and stuff, so she posted a picture of herself, but you can also see like the sweatshirt or like a hat that the guy wears. Tiana sees this picture, and that's the picture that they end up arguing over. So Tiana waits for Ting Ting outside the union, but once everyone's leaving the union, it's kind of hard to see people because you have like a lot of people leaving the pageant. So then Tiana, she sees me coming outside the union with my smoothie, and she's like, hey, have you seen this really short girl? She has fire red hair. And I was like, no. And then I continued walking, and then I sat down by this on this like stone bench, and I'm just like, you know, enjoying my smoothie. And then the crowd, the crowd leaves out, then it starts to become a bit sparse, and then you can see like it's like me and Tiana saw Tink Tink at the same time, and I looked at her and I was just like, oh, she's so tiny. Like, Tiana, she was like a very tall girl, and she was very thick, and I was just like, wow, you know. And I'm not saying small people can't fight or anything, but you know, there's weight classes for a reason in boxing, you know. So like her arm span was longer, like, I don't know. As soon as Tiana saw her, she went charging for the girl. Then they started fighting. Tink Tink, she's holding her own for like a really long time, and then so the crowd sees like commotion, so they start coming over, and it's basically like this whole circle surrounding them. So I can't really see that much now because I'm still at the bench, and it's elevated, so I see a piece of it, but I don't see Tink Tink. Like, all I see is like her arms stretching up and outward. And honestly, I was on Tink Tink's side because Tiana, she gave me a review, and y'all want to know, she gave me 2s and 3s for my review, so I couldn't get a raise. I was so upset because I never did anything towards her. I did more work than her, and she was lazy. Ooh, can't stand you. Now I don't care, but that's how I felt at that time, okay? She was literally on her butt, not working. Like, but all in all, the guy that Tink Tink was messing with, he ends up seeing the fight. He comes over. The fight is kind of like over with anyway, and he's just like, that's him. Basically, he played Tiana and Tink Tink, and he was like,
it wasn't that deep anyway. We weren't in a relationship. I wasn't in a relationship with you, and I wasn't in a relationship with you.
So then Tiana starts fussing at him, and she's like, I don't even remember what she was saying because she was talking really fast, and she had an accent, and she was just like, an Atlanta accent, so she like slurring her words together a little bit. She was just like cussing at him, fussing, all the craziness. Tink Tink left with her friends and they were talking crap about him and Tiana as they walked away, because they ended up walking the opposite way towards where I was. And I was just like, it's crazy. You fighting over a guy and you're not even boyfriend and girlfriend. So basically that was kind of a story in itself, but let me get to the actual story, and I'll put like a little timestamp if you want to skip this story within a story, okay? Because there's some people who like for me to get to the point, but I don't know, I just have to let you guys know her level of erraticity, so you know, you have to know. It's important. It's important for the story. Oh, my phone's about to die. Ooh. Okay, let me continue to talk. Roma's girlfriend, she came to the coffee shop and it was just to visit Roma, and which is kind of strange when you think about it, because it's just like, one, why don't you have a job to go to? Granted, we would work pretty late sometimes, but like this point it was just like, why is she here? Like, I don't know, it was kind of weird. Like, I didn't think it was weird then, but as an adult I look back on it and I'm just like, that's kind of weird, especially because they live together. It's just like, you can see this person at home. I think they may have had some trust issues or something like that, especially with like some other arguments I've witnessed them have. I think they had some trust issues, and that's why King was coming to the coffee shop. But let's continue the story. Roma and King, they were talking about how this girl named Goldtooth was talking crap about them, talking crap specifically about Roma and Tiana. Tiana wasn't at work this day, by the way. Goldtooth, she worked for another food place on campus that was like 24/7. So since we would be working up until late in the night, we would sometimes go to that place for lunch. Like, it may have been like maybe 9 o'clock, but it would have been lunch for us. King, Roma's girlfriend, came over to the coffee shop. They were just talking, and she was talking about how Tiana and Gold Teeth were in an argument and stuff like that. They weren't getting along, and Roma and Tiana, they were actually like, they were cordial with each other. They weren't besties or anything like that, but they got along with each other really well. So I felt like she knew that Tiana would actually like probably try and fight her, because I told y'all the story before. But Roma, she was like a sweetheart, so she wouldn't, like, I feel like if she had to fight, she would probably fight, but she would not want to fight. That's not something she would want to do. Well, Roma, she was ticked off and she wanted to go over to the 24-hour place to fight, or maybe like, you know, have a very animated conversation, or I don't know, some type of dispute. So this is the reason why Roma was upset. Roma was upset because Goldtooth took a picture of her and it looked it made her body look very unflattering. Now, this is in Roma's opinion, okay? So this is not me saying this is Roma saying that, okay? And then she had like some caption. It was some crazy caption that kind of stirred up drama too. I don't remember what it was anymore. So yeah, so there's like a lot of hostility there. We all went over there to lunch as a group, as normal, because it's like, it's nighttime at this point. You don't want to go over by yourself. While Roma and Goldtooth are going back and forth, I'm just like looking at different things I'm gonna get today. I'm talking to the pizza guy, and we're just talking about whatever we were talking about. I let him know what I want, and at this point I'm just waiting for what I ordered, burgers and my french fries, because that's what I decided to get that day. So I guess Roma and Goldtooth, they finished their heated conversation, and Roma, she walks out because she's mad. I still haven't got my stuff, so now I have it, and I'm about to like check out so she can put like a little hole in my key card, because we would get free meals for lunch and stuff. So, you know, they would have to put like a little punch hole in it. So while she getting ready to put the little punch hole in my thing, before she does it, she was like,
you can't get that drink with a meal. You can get a pizza and get X, Y, and Z, but you can't get that with that kind of drink. You gotta get a different kind of drink.
I was so upset because the only reason she was doing this was because of the beef that she had with Roma. Like, this had nothing to do with me at all. Like, every single day I would come here and I would get X kind of drink, whatever like variation of stuff. I would just get a good bit, right? But a reasonable amount that someone would eat. Like, it's not like I'm getting like a whole pizza or anything like that, or I want 10 burgers and 5 french fries. No, it was nothing like that. That annoyed me so much. But anyway, she probably assumed that I was friends with Tiana because Tiana was friendly with Roma. And at that point, like, she was just like, And I told her, like, I come here, I get this every day. She wasn't always the person to check me out, but she had some time. So it should be no surprise that I'm getting this. I get this a lot, okay? So she's just like,
no, we can't do that, and X, Y, and Z.
like rolling her neck and stuff. And then she really upset me. And I wanted to throw food in her face, but I didn't throw food in her face. What I did was I took the patty apart. I put a bun here, put the lettuce and tomato over there, smeared it around the table a little bit, and I put one bun on another side of the counter. So basically a deconstructed burger, if you will. And I like kind of sprinkled the area with the french fries. So I just left everything at the counter like she asked me to. I left the burger at the counter since I could only since you know, she said I could only get whatever she said I could only get. I explained to Roma, King, and Mel what happened, and Roma was like, that girl is so petty, like you don't even have beef with her, like this has nothing to do with you. The only reason she doing that is because she saw you and me walking there together at the same time, and she know we work at the same place, and me and her hers and Gold Tooth only have beef because her, Gold Tooth, and Kiana have beef together. Ooh, and Tiana have beef together. This don't even have nothing to do with me. I don't know why she took a picture of me and put it on Instagram, and then she was like, I'm not effing with Tiana after this because she always pulling other people into her drama. I don't have nothing to do with this girl. I don't even know Gold Tooth like that. And then King, her girlfriend, was like,
see, I've been telling you that B word was messy. She always in drama.
Talking about Tiana. So the next day I go to work, and you know, I'm making some coffees, making a little cappuccino, here you go, all that stuff. And I see Mr. Carter, and Mr. Carter is the guy that's over like all of dining, right? Tiana, messy self, tells me, oh, Mr. Carter wants to talk to you. And I was just like, I had an idea what this was about, but I wasn't ready for what they was about to say happened, okay? So me and him, we're talking, we're in the room together, and he was like,
I want to talk to you about what happened yesterday.
And then I was in my head, I'm like, what is this about? What is this about? But I still kind of have an idea, but I'm just like, look, I left the burger there, like I left it there like she said. And then I thought, like, Gold Tooth, she is so petty and she is such a snitch. Like, she started this whole drama, and then she wants to call people on me. What? So I sit there across from him, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
FineGirl Dime, what happened yesterday? Gold Tooth told me you threw food at her.
And I was just like, I was in disbelief because I didn't throw food at her. Y'all, when I feel like so upset or I feel super stressed out, I cry. I am like a crybaby, okay? I'm a crybaby. I was like, I can't believe this is happening to me. I didn't even throw food at her. I did not throw food at her, and now she's trying to say I threw food at her. My mouth dropped, okay? Like I'm crying, and then my mouth dropped. Like, as soon as he told me the news, I'm like, and then I start crying because I'm stressed. I'm like, what? I would never throw food at anyone. Like, basically, like I told y'all. And I was like, I can't believe she would say that about me. I've been working here for X amount of time, and I have never thrown food at anyone. Why would I just start throwing food at people? So then I explained to him everything that happened. Basically, it was what I told y'all. I don't know how I got caught up into Tiana and Gold Tooth's hood shenanigans, but this doesn't have anything to do with me. And I was like, this is a stressful situation. Just look at the surveillance. Like, I'm sure you have cameras. You can let me know what you see in the cameras, because like just look at the cameras, because I did not throw food at anyone. And I was so upset by her behavior that I couldn't even eat anymore. I was frustrated. I was very frustrated. I felt stressed out, and honestly, I feel like this was workplace bullying. She was bullying me. She's old enough to be my mom, and I don't want to have my mom come to the school. I really don't. I don't want her to have to come to the school. So at this point, I'm like, I'm flushed. I'm ready. So he believed all the points that I made and like my demeanor and stuff, because it honestly makes sense. Why would I just randomly throw food at someone? He ended up giving her like this written warning on top of the other she had. So the next day I went in there to get what I wanted, like I usually do. She rang me up with no issue at all. And then the following day I went to, you know, same routine. I see Burger and Fry Guy, and Burger and Fry Guy was like,
she got fired.
and I was like, and then he was like,
yeah, she got fired. I couldn't stand her. She was always trying to touch me, knowing I love my baby mama. I'm trying to get back with her.
talking about his baby mom. So the moral of the story is just stay away from people who bring you drama. Stay away from people who bring others into your drama, okay? And even if you do that, sometimes you may be a part of the drama even if you don't want to, right? Because like this had nothing to do with me, and I couldn't get my food like I used to. Like, why was you playing with me? Yeah, so just tell me about a time you guys got caught up in somebody else's drama that was not even like, you know, it's just like weird, right? Like, this has nothing to do with me, but you're pulling me in on this and you are acting angry as if I did you something. Yeah, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.